Welcome to Kitchen Meditation. My name is Rikki and I'm delighted to be here with you all to demonstrate how to make a really delicious vegan dessert called Chococado pudding. And before we start, I wanted to let you know that it's available in this lovely little cookbook called The Art and Queen's Cuisine, and it's the last recipe. And the fun thing about this cookbook is that I illustrated each recipe with one ingredient, and that the recipes are extremely simple. So the first thing you want to do in kitchen meditation is not jump into cooking or making the dish. However, if you look at all the ingredients that you have in front of you and notice, for example, the color of the avocado, the lovely color of maple syrup, maybe even the aroma, how you're feeling. Are you relaxed? Are you ready to start cooking? If you are, let's begin. Your avocados need to be quite ripe. Otherwise you won't have the right texture, you won't have the right flavor for the Chococado pudding. So you want to get them a few days ahead of time. And if they're rock hard, it'll come very easily to get to ripen. If they're a little soft, then just press your finger into the avocado, and if you can press it a little bit, it's ready to go. The first thing you want to do is get your table set up with a proper cutting board, a place for throwing away the seeds, and then all your equipment. Today we're going to be using a Cuisinart because it's a very easy way to use it and to get very smooth avocados. If you don't have a Cuisinart, you can use a blender. Blenders are very good. They have steel blades and they work very well. You can also use one of these stick mixers. They're really also easy to use. I would not recommend using potato masher because it does not mash the avocado pulp well. But if that's all you have, you can do it. It just won't be as smooth, but it'll taste very good. You found your ripe avocados, you cut them in half. I cut one in half already. When you're cutting, you're mindful of what your knife is doing, not only because you don't want to cut yourself, but just because there's an experience there with the knife slicing into the soft avocado, and then you open it up to find a seed. One of the easiest ways to get the seed out of the avocado without ruining the center is to press the knife into the seed and then just get rid of it. All right. Next, you scoop out the avocado and you put it into your Cuisinart or into your blender or into a bowl for the stand mixer. I've already blended up my avocado pulp because it does take time and I wanted to save some time for us. So just to review, we take your ripe avocados, we slice them in half, we take out the seed and put it over there. I like to use a spatula to scoop it out so you get all the avocado meat in there. Once you have your avocado blended, very, very smooth, I can actually show you how smooth it is. Right? Take your spatula again. You want to turn it on and actually put the cocoa powder in first. This is half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. The reason you put it in first is because if you put it in while the machine is moving, the powder goes all over the place. You want to avoid that. Before you begin, whether you're using a blender, a stick blade, or a Cuisinart, it's really important to, again, just be aware of your breath as you're turning on the machine. Be aware that it's plugged in. Be aware of the changes, the consistency that starts to happen, the colors that change in the mix. So I'm going to put this little gadget on top so that the cocoa doesn't come out. And while that's happening, you can take this opportunity to notice your breath as well. Are you relaxed? Are you a little nervous? Are you talking to someone? Are you on your cell phone? My recommendation is just put all that aside. If you're talking to someone, say, I'll be with you in a moment, and take a look at what you just mixed. So you stop it and you take a look in there. And if the cocoa is blended with the avocado mix, you're on your way to finishing up what you're doing. It does not take very long. You're going to take 1/4 cup of almond milk or soy milk or oat milk or any kind of milk that you like. If you're vegan, if you're not vegan, of course you could use regular milk. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's put this on again. Whenever you're making something with chocolate, many of you may know this already, it requires a little bit of salt to balance out the flavor of the chocolate. It kind of mellows it out a little bit. So you just take a pinch of salt, you can put that in there. Let it mix up. So take a breath before you put in this last ingredient, because this ingredient is just going to round out the whole dessert and it'll be finished. So let's try to do that. So taking a breath in and out. You can even put a little smile on your face. Again, being mindful that there's still some maple syrup in here and you want to get it out. You don't want to just throw it away. You take your spatula, and you probably want to open up your Cuisinart. You just scrape out whatever's left in there. You can see there's quite a bit in there. And that's it. I want to show you what I made here. I think you can see the smooth, creamy chocolate. And I've also made a batch before I met you down here. And I like to mix it up a little bit. You can keep it in the refrigerator for several days if it's covered. And this goes well with almost any meal. So I want you to see this. And I'm going to explain about the different parts of the senses that you can use as a mindfulness eating meditation in the kitchen. So I'm looking at it now. I've got this great deep brown chocolate. But it's not just brown. It's got these little flecks of white light from the lamps. And it's got a darker piece of chocolate where the shadows come in. So you might want to just notice that before you start eating it. Then I want to smell it. It smells really, really good. If you like chocolate, it's a very potent smell. Now, I'm not going to include hearing because I don't hear anything from this chocolate, but I will taste it. Very, very good. Here's a tip about eating meditation. When you take the spoon filled with Chococado, or anything for that matter, you take a look at it like we just did. You smell it. You put it into your mouth on your tongue, and before you swallow it, just notice the flavors that transfer from the pudding to your tongue. And once you've experienced that flavor, swallow. And I guarantee you'll enjoy that pudding a lot more than if you just kind of start guzzling it up. So we began our kitchen meditation with a bell and a breath. And I'd like to end it with this bell and a breath. So when you hear the breath, take a breath. When you hear the bell, take a breath in and let it go. Let go of any tension, any anxiousness. And just be here with the bell. So I'd like to thank you very much for joining me in this Chococado demonstration. I hope that you have a chance to make it and enjoy it. And thank you very much. What did you say? I don't know.